this has a savior complex, if you will. Like, if the TCG market is waning, this is a product that can help save all of them. Because when they go into the store to buy Lorcana, or if they see Lorcana, or they're specifically going to an LGS because where do I get more of these? There was only one pack at Walmart.
Right.
They go into an LGS, which they've probably never gone into before.
Yeah.
And what's this Pokemon over here? Oh, look, there's Godzilla cards. That's Magic. You understand what I'm saying? It will help push all other games. It will rise the tide for all games. This is something that have done well, have done right, have done in coordination with Disney, and Disney actually promotes it. I mean, can you ask for a bigger promoting machine than Disney?
Like, yeah, and I mean, it's on shop.disney.com, so it's definitely getting some exposure there. But I think
it's in their theme parks. It's in their theme parks.
You know, number one, there isn't enough product for the people that want to buy it. And then number two, there is a very large, as of yet, untapped Disneyana, as so many people refer to it. There's a lot of, you know, mouse heads that absolutely would love to get into Lorcana that just didn't even know that it existed. You know, I recently went and played with a friend of mine in my MTG pod, and he did not know that Lorcana was a trading card game he could share and play with his family. And that experience of getting to, you know, have him open up his first pack, to play his first games with the pre-con deck, and see him go, oh man, I absolutely loved Maui in Moana. This guy, he's my jam. I've got to play this. You know, that type of excitement is phenomenal. And he is one of my type of guys that is all sorts of proxy friendly, right? When a new card comes out and he wants to put it in his deck, he's thinking this is going to cost 40 cents from China, right? But he asked me very quickly, does Walmart have this? Can I go get this down at our local store? Does the LGS have it? You know, so I think that that's a huge missed market right now, is the availability side of it. Absolutely, Bob.
Well, it's getting there. It's getting there for sure. Like, I'm seeing a lot more boxes actually flood into the market, and at the right time. And I'll tell you why. I'm actually going to call out one of our channel subscribers, Richie Dubs. I know from behind the scenes that he ordered a couple weeks ago. You know, I know prices have gone down on the boxes since then, but he wanted to make sure he had product in hand because he wanted to open packs with his, I believe, nieces, maybe nephews too. But that's something, again, for this product, it was specifically because it was Disney, right? And I think that there is so much of that yet untapped out there because the boxes, like you said, have not been available since release. I don't think that Lorcana, to be honest, I don't think it's even begun yet. I think it's going to take years to become part of the public consciousness.
Yeah.
And I think if it can exist on shelves at a reasonable price, not $400 a box, but even $140 seems pretty pricey. But if they can buy a pack here or there for $6-7, just like the Pokemon, like this thing, I think has legs. I think if Ravensburger can continue to improve and make better fixes than this silly tape, you know, but that shows me that they're at least paying attention. And on the second chapter, they also have that. I think it can really have some legs to it. I think that they need to stay unique to Lorcana. I hope they don't start copying Pokemon and copying Flesh and Blood and Magic. Like, it's beautiful the way that it is. Don't make it 18 billion variants with 40 different SKUs, and you know what I'm saying? Like, keep it simple.
Yeah, you know? That's a great point, actually, is the toned down amount of variants. As I was doing a bit of that pack opening with my friend Matt when we were hanging out the other day, he saw the cold foils in the back and he said, oh, wow, it's the same artwork. And he wasn't saying it in a downtrodden way, like he was missing out on something else. He was excited to get a high quality cold foil of a card that he already liked from the set. And he's not getting instantly trained to look for all these different variants. So I explained to him the only other looking cards, these non-standard cards, are one in a case, maybe even more for the enchanted cards. So any borderless card that jumps out as you as something special really is. And I would love for Lorcana to stay with that metric.
Oh, me
Is that
too.
if it looks special, it is. You only get one foil a pack, but it stays flat. It's actually a good version of that card. And
Oh,
same
and they're
thing
not
with the
dark.
enchanted.
You know,
Yeah, right.
like the Magic, the equivalent of this to Magic would be, oh, do I even have one here? Oh boy, I don't know if I have one. But the etched foils, these aren't etched foils. Maybe I have the etched foils in the back of this. For the Lathril, I got the Lathril one.
Oh yeah,
and I want to
know what you're
show this
talking
because
about.
it is different. I think I have one as the commander here. And what I want to show is how bright and vivacious the colors are compared to the way that Magic does the kind of similar variant. Here we go. So this is Lathril, and things feel very dark. The art feels dark. It's not as bright as like it's decidedly darker. Like not even just the background, just the art itself is darker. It's more muted. It's not as vibrant.
Yeah, the area just above and
it.
below her cape looks off in the foil etching version.
And this isn't even a bad one. Like the ones in Commander Legends, the first ones,
Oh,
they were very, very dark.
oh yeah, I have an Essior that you can barely read.
So it, and I'm not just bashing Magic. I'm saying, but what they did right, and that's what I want to point out. I'm glad that they picked a foiling method that's not crazy. It's not tacoed. It's not ugly. It's just it's decidedly different than the regular Olaf here.
Yeah,
It's a bit shiny to catch your eye, but it's not overdone, right? And that's the problem
gaudy.
I think with most Magic is that that's the word to describe Magic, and even Pokemon really. Like with their 18 bajillion variants, like, oh, that's a valuable card. It's 10 cents. It's like, I couldn't. It's like splashy. Anyways, let's crack into it, my friend. Clearly, I'm excited for this, and I don't want to bash other products to raise this one, but I do want to echo your sentiment that I hope they keep things the same that they've done so far. I want to see your face when I'm doing this. Let's see you on the side. You go ahead and make me big. Make me big, and you can be on like the side over there.
I think I can do
the other way.
Yes,
there you go. That works. So they do have a laughable safety seal, but I'm just going to go ahead and pop it. This is how it's supposed to be done.
Rip the wrap.
Rip the wrap. It is open now, folks. And I had to wait a little bit to record today because I had Miss Sherry Vegas pick out the box for me to open today. So
she found a good one.
Well, she's my lucky luck charm, and no matter how this box turns out, I am lucky to have her. Grateful for this holiday season. I brought my lucky Mickey that I made on my 3D printer. So my custom Captain Hook playmat. I'm all Disneyed out. I got my R2-D2 Mickey hat on.
Oh yeah, he's rocking it.
I'm feeling it in this holiday season. How are you?
Thank you everybody for joining us. As you guys know, it's the holiday weekend when we're putting this video up. So thank you everybody for your time and joining us here. Hopefully we'll be live in the comment section with you, and just really want to wish everybody a happy holiday season. Hope everybody's safe and getting to spend some time with their loved ones, and so glad that you could join us here for this. So many thanks to you, and thank you to Bob as well. Glad we could share this experience.
I'm going to be brutally honest. I plan to slow roll the shit out of this. So buckle in or fast forward to the very end if you want to see the hits. But I'm not real. My stack game, my pile game for opening is probably worse than Blake's. So words. I don't.
It's interesting you say that. Lorcana had a very interesting choice, going with 6 different rarities, with common, uncommon, rare, super rare, legendary, enchanted. I was a little surprised right out the gate that they went for 6 rarities. What do you think about that, Bob, as we go through this first pack?
I think there's actually 7 rarities.
7? Because of
Yeah,
promos?
because of the promos, my friend. So
It's
that's something
almost
to
like
definitely be aware of
yeah.
in this space. I think ultimately those promos are going to be very sought after if this game survives. But it's up to all of us. Sachet. I'm trying to check out the pack to see if there's any like information on it. So let's like lift a little tab here. So we're gonna kind of see if it has like odds or anything like that, or what it's got on the info here. Scott Ravensburger does not say where it was printed. It says each 12 card booster contains 1 foil, any rarity, 2 rares, or higher rarity, 3 uncommons, and 6 commons. That's the one thing I don't really like is that I feel like they should have put 15 in the pack, right? With the 60 card deck kind of format, that it makes the draft environment a little wonkier.
Yeah.
That you have to have 4 packs. And I don't know if that's like a hey, let's squeeze more money out of them kind of move.
Right,
if it is, that's kind of dirty. But what I mean, at only 24 packs, wow. Hello.
Yeah, I found that the first chapter packs were actually hard to open. That the Rise of the Floodborn ones were a lot easier to get into.
I think it can be pretty easy to get into. There we go. That was easy.
But I'll certainly entertain that idea, Bob. I do believe as well that it was probably done in more, I don't want to say nefarious, but I do believe it was planned to have it as the 4 packs for draft. And I think that, allowed them to go for the 12 cards per pack. It does just make it a bit more expensive for the experience, but
Got to hold these up way high. It's kind of awkward. I don't want them to be out of focus. So, you know what I'm going to do? You're just going to have to look at the camera being in my shot here. Sorry. I just want to have the camera down to where you can see the cards clearly. I think you're more interested in seeing the cards than you are my face.
oh, come on.
So, I mean, that's actually not terrible. An Inkable 6 isn't the worst in blue, being the ramp.
Yeah.
For a 4/6/3 lore. I never really considered this card, but
yeah,
it's not the
too
worst.
bad. Yeah, and one of the things is, we're so early in to the card pool of Lorcana that even stuff like Simba and Abu here,
I play him in my deck.
Yeah, it's a very fine card, and you just have to have cards to be able to play. Same thing with Timon. Don't get me wrong, he's no Lilo, but he's a definitely workable little dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's a 1/2 with a bonus for a 1 casting cost. You really don't get any cheaper than that. And he's got 1 lore on him, so not the worst. I mean, it's like it's very playable. Tink, evasion is just, it's rough. It is actually pretty tough for evasive, Only characters with evasive can basically target Tink. So, and again, Peter Pan, another evasive. Yeah. But it feels like, to be honest with you, he should have had, I don't know, 1 more lore or something.
It does feel a little bit of a letdown. It makes it feel very common, but at the same time, a bit of a letdown there as well. And then we've got Prince Eric, huh? Not bad.
I mean, he's inkable. I mean, he's playable. I don't know that I would.
So he's almost a 3/3.
But see, the 7 ink on this almost puts it out of like support's not really strong enough. It just kind of It puts 7 is so tough to get on the board.
Absolutely. I was talking to my buddy when we were playing our first game, and he asked me about the mana curve, and I find that 4 to 7 is really the playable area, and some decks might not ever see 6 or 7.
Yeah, 7 is rough. 6 is pretty doable. 7 really starts getting tough. You have to be thinking about winning the game by that point.
And I don't know if Prince Philip is helping you win that game. I mean, 4
not really.
Inkable,
Yeah, the
3/3 for
non-inkable
2
part
lore.
kind of kills this.
When this character challenges and is banished, you may banish the challenging character. Like, that's just fine and
Like, it
everything,
either
but
needs
this
to be
seems
a
like a
3.
filler card. This just, like, reeks of pre-con power.
Let's see if I can't get this out of my face and just zoom in down some more here. I don't know if this helps or if it just makes it cruddier.
No, that's fine.
Like, he either needs to be inkable, which would make him a little more playable, or cost 3. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it just
At 3,
it
that would
just doesn't
feel
do
like,
enough.
yeah.
That's a great card that I put in my silver in my
Steel
steel
deck there,
decks.
yeah. And I mean,
3 damage is a lot.
it
inkable.
kills most characters. If not, it does the assist. Yeah. Solid.
All
You
right,
got a
the first rare is a magic mirror. Not bad. The thing I find with magic mirror is that it always feels like it's just too late in the game to make the difference. Because that 4, right, to activate,
that's the killer.
is just so rough.
And 4
Like,
to
it
draw
needed to either be inkable or it needed to be cost 1 or just something.
I think that the ability itself needs to be cheaper than a 4.
Oh,
nice, solid start. Stitch Rockstar.
Got a Stitch Rockstar. That's actually that's a tough card, man. That I mean, it really is.
Oh yeah, especially with the shift ability just coming out, 2 turns earlier, and it's inkable. So in case you never decide to use it, 3 lore on a 3/5 body. That guy's got a big booty for a short doggo.
Well, where the silliness comes into play is his adoring fans. Whenever you play a character with a cost 2 or less, you may exert them to draw a card. Right? I've seen people do silliness where they just play a 2, tap, draw, play a 2, tap, draw, play a 2, tap, draw, like later in the game, and it's just like, oh, the beast is mine.
So
I think I already have this one in. This is wow. It's hard to tell, and this one actually seems a little dark, but I wonder if just the regular art is kind of dark on this one. This is the foil etched. So I'm just going to put the Olaf over here with it. Let me see my piles here. I should pile my piles. So that is the super rare, the rare. We'll just, I don't know, we'll go uncommon. We'll do commons like the farthest away. So we'll do it that way. You can't see them, they're off screen. But that's kind of too bad. Like, we're just going through the cards. We're going to enjoy them. There we go. Just got to be a man about it.
Right? A little bit of a strength in the fingertips. Oh, Philocides.
So I've had this card played against me. I don't really love it, but it's a 3 attack or 3 power. The one he tends to get blown up pretty easily. But
that support ability on a 3/1, like I definitely give some respect to the support cards because I got wrecked real early in a couple of games when I was doing Pixelborn first off, and it definitely can get out of hand. And I think that going ahead, some of the later sets we see, support's definitely going to have its heyday.
Oh, how iconic, man.
Look at
how
her.
Iconic. Feels like she should have been more
spot on.
But I feel like Minnie should have just been like, she should have had more ability. She's vanilla. That's the only thing I think they did dirty on this card is that she really is so iconic that it feels like it should be a much better card. Like a 1/3 butt is not bad for 1 lore. It's not bad. But you don't want to say that about like one of the most iconic characters in all of Disneyana. Right? Is it's not bad. And that's all I could say about her. She's not bad. The Dingle Hopper. Just love the name. I don't ever play it. I mean, I'd have to be like in a draft to play this thing, but
yeah,
sure. Or maybe some sort of item strategy game where items matter kind of thing.
Archimedes. The problem is though in Amethyst Amber, that's not really a thing that you would want to do too much. You're all about getting cards out, creature based. Yeah, so it's rare that you would want to sacrifice a card slot for at least it's inkable, but realistically the aid that you get, removing damage isn't really a meta yet. But I mean Archimedes on the opposite side.
Dude,
Just
always in every purple deck I face.
yeah,
I mean, just the 1/2/2/1 lore. Like that's
he's
what Mini should have been, right?
out there
Mini
doing
should
his
have been
work.
this, right? Mini should have
Maybe
been that
that's why
kind
they
of.
gave her the 1/3 on it, because she's got that big booty.
But Mini
Who
don't have a
knows?
big booty. She's not. It's not Mini low.
We got Tinkerbell, not too bad. Evasive on there. When
Yeah,
you
again, like I
play,
said, and she's inkable. Like this is much stronger than like that yellow card we looked at earlier, right? Because it's 4, just like the other one, but it's inkable. Such a big thing, and it's got 2 lore, and it's a 2/3 with evasive, with pixie dust on it, right? I mean, don't discount that. That has wrecked me before. Whenever you play this character, chosen character gains evasive this turn, right? And what they do is they play that on like my bodyguard, so they can come in and eat my Lilo, right?
yeah,
It's like, damn it.
that's
So that
slick.
card has wrecked me on multiple occasions, actually.
And
Hercules,
speaking of
love it.
bodyguard, I
Bodyguard,
mean, this right
great
here
card.
is, this looks like a solid swinger in steel. 3/3 for 3 inkable, 1 lore, and it's got bodyguard, which is honestly such a powerful mechanic in Lorcana.
Oh yeah, really, like you just watch people grimace across from you when you play bodyguards. They're like, oh. So
I mean,
Hercules,
you were the
very good card.
inspiration because you kicked my ass so hard. I pretty much made the best deck I have just in that spirit. And then
Yeah.
Shield of Virtue, solid little card here. I do find it expensive, even though it
Yeah.
comes in for 1 inkable at that. For the fireproof ability, you have to have 3 ink available. And it just isn't worth it in the same way that the Magic Mirror draw was too expensive.
The only way it makes it worth it, I'll be honest with you, I think that there's going to be some synergies that come down the road, maybe with these locations, where they have other abilities that, tap this turn to double your lore, right? So if you got like a 3 quester,
Okay, yeah.
right, and then you use something like this, I mean, getting 6 lore on a turn, that could.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. When I see cards like in Magic where it's untapped target card, like, oh, what's that matter? And then you realize, oh, that allows me to net 16 mana this turn.
Right.
Something,
So let's say it was like a 3 lore quester, like the Mufasa, right? And let's say you have a location one that you can exert it and it doesn't untap the next turn, but double up your lore questing for a turn. Now you take that 3, right? And that doubles up to a 6. You untap it for 3 and quest for another 6. That's 12 lore in 1 turn from 1 card, right?
Or
So,
even a super rare that has support, except it has some line of text where it says it doesn't have to quest to give it support. Boom. Then you untap it and tap it again. And now it's just getting +8 instead. Yeah, it could definitely get some synergistic stuff. Like
purple is
Ursula's
the new
Altar.
blue. Purple is the blue, manipulate your deck, take extra turns, that kind of nonsense.
Yeah, all the card draw, which is
uh,
interesting that they did that, was switch up the color pie a little bit for us.
It's control and draw. Like it's not the big beefy, not the kill all your stuff. It's the control the pace, control your deck, all that kind of stuff. And Ursula's Cauldron is definitely one of those cards, and it doesn't cost anything once you put it into play.
Right. And I think that's a huge benefit on this one because, it's almost like Scry 2, and that's a huge advantage, card advantage in general. Oh, Tamatoa. Now, it's interesting, even at uncommon, you're still seeing some reasonably vanilla-esque cards. This is almost the grizzly bears of this set.
I can't imagine putting this in a deck. I just can't.
Especially in 6 months from now, when you have enough other bodies that would just fit better.
And drab little crab. I mean, unless crabs matter, you know what I mean? I can't imagine that would be a thing. Cruella de Vil, this card is strong. It really is strong. When this character is challenged and banished, you may return chosen character to their player's hand. Right? So it's like you have to let her go. You can't really have something that has 3, attack on it, quest, because then, she gets to return your big whatever took you everything to get it out on the table this turn that's going to turn the tide.
Right.
Green is just really nasty that way for 2, and it's inkable. Very strong card.
Right.
Very, very
and I mean, the only other option to that is ping it a bunch of times with a bunch of smaller creatures. And it's not like I want to throw 3/1/1s to death against that. No, what's the point? And you're still going to lose all 3 of them. That's a very solid swinger right there.
Yeah, I mean, like this could have been better. Corella's not. I mean, she is semi-iconic, but not like Minnie. And Minnie is just so vanilla, and this is so good. Like, I feel like it should have been. Oh, let it go.
I was going to say, Bob, just let it go.
I mean, it's got almost Legion's Realms at War kind of like vibe with the small, tiny text on the bottom.
Oh, I was wondering where the insult was going to be, and there it was.
I'm sorry. It's just like hold on. It's hard. Like I looked at it. I had to like hold it away from my face to be able to read the text on it. But let it go. Yeah, I mean it's a very good singable, and almost every time this has been played against me, it's been sung into play.
Oh yeah, and I've got to say that whole mechanic, explaining that to my friend when we were going over some cards, he fell in love with it just as quickly as I did. I love the idea of singing cards into play, tapping cards so that you can play them for free. That's such a cool mechanic.
And then we have the foil Hakuna Matata. I don't ever see this one played.
No, nobody will ever play this card. 4 to remove 3 damage from a character, just not happening.
It's a little unimpressive,
right?
And it's not from one character; it's from each of your characters. You can remove up to 3 damage from each of your characters. So, I mean, unless maybe there's going to be a mechanic down the road where you have like damage spread out and then you can remove it, but I don't know. Just I don't ever see it played. I think that the pace of games don't allow it. I don't know if that's like a ding. Showed up on camera real well.
Yeah, it did.
Came out the pack that way. That was not a Bob thing. Bob did not do that. But I mean, what a great little card. I want to get this one in the promo version. They have that for season 1. I really need to start looking into those because that should be about in full swing by now. And my LGS told me when I went in last week that they just got approved for a Play Store. So that's cool. That's good news.
And honestly, that Mickey Mouse detective card, that thing's sweet. It
is sweet. That. I have one criticism of it, and it's been in my hand when it's done this a few times, and it's not inkable. Like, that's the one thing that just really
that would make it uncommon, almost rare at that point.
Yeah, but it's so good otherwise. I mean, it really is. It's one of the few ramp cards, but I think they're going to make better ramp cards as we move along in the future.
For sure.
Rush card, a mechanic I just don't see that often, right? Like I feel there's room to grow in the rush territory. I don't see a lot of like rush strategies. Maybe that's changed, but red is not really that way. There's reckless, which is a thing, and then there's the removal. That's what red seems to do the best. But rush itself, especially 3 costs for a 1 lore, eesh. I don't know. It feels like you could do something better with it. I
don't see the point of it. Whereas, like, flip side, this Simba 2
Did
for
it get errated?
Bodyguard. Like,
I thought this got errated or something. Like, essentially not. Damn it. What does it do when Magic they get rid of the cards aren't legal to play? Like Hull Breacher. Ban it. Banned. This is not a banned card, but I thought they errated it or something. and that really affected the price on Lilo. Like this was like one of the most common, combos in the game was Lilo turn 1, Simba turn 2. Like that was just so prevalent.
Yeah.
In like most of the decks you played. So it will forever, I think, be an iconic card just because of that. The Lilo Simba. Jafar, like once in a blue moon, he'll do something against me, but by the time that happens, I'm usually kind of established well enough that I don't care that much.
And I mean,
the challenge does help.
If I'm at 4 lore and I'm playing Amethyst and I'm getting all that card draw, I'm probably leaning into the other color for my win con. Whether it's steel for killing off the other player's characters, or maybe I do amber so I can just kind of rush you for lore. I don't see the body of Jafar really working out. Whereas we've got Aladdin here as Prince Ali, 2 inkable for a 2/2 with 1 lore and ward. Like, this is just a very solid body. I'm definitely seeing this card far more often, especially with other Aladdin shift abilities to go on to it. So I mean, it's definitely out there.
Speak about shift. Is there a more shifted card than this one right here?
Yeah, I've seen that too many times.
Like you see this, what's coming on the next play. Which I would love to have. I don't have any of the big tinks. Would really, really love to have one in the enchanted, but it's very unlikely, folks, that we're going to pull an enchanted in this box.
Right.
I mean, the odds are so rare. I've already pulled 2 enchanted foils. Unlikely, but this one gets shifted a ton. Conversely, this one is just very solid for blue. A 2/2/2/2 inkable. Like it almost feels slightly overpowered for what it is. It's a 2 cost, 2/2 body, 2 lore, inkable. I mean, what more do you want out of a 2? It's all kind of 2s. This one, I see it. I don't understand it. Because this one can't sing songs. It's the other Ariel, right? That's just way better. The one that sings. A 4 for a 3/4/2. That can't sing. So that's like a drawback. I think it needed to be like a 4/4 for 4 and can't sing. Right. I think that would be
dramatic. She couldn't talk right when she was on land or something.
Right, but they could have at least given her 4. Like be a 4/4 for 4, but can't sing, can't contribute to the singing. Right.
I think it's funny that just as an aside, in the Little Mermaid itself, that the prince falls in love with her even though she's mute. So he just loves her because she's hot.
Look, I like hot chicks that can't talk. Hey, what does that say?
Holy shit, man.
Little chauvinistic there. This guy I have never seen played. Not once.
No. I mean, the only way I could see Kronk function is if you're also playing blue, so you're ramping. Because once you get to 6, you're not going to want to spend 6 ink on just one big fat body. Oh,
no. Dang. Jasmine I have seen played a few times.
You know why they gave her a 5, right, Bob? Because she's thick.
She's got a thick back.
She's definitely got that caretaker ability and shift 3, which honestly I think is a huge advantage. So you can get this girl out early. And when you do, when you play her and whenever she quests, you can remove 2 damage from each of your characters. And on a 2/5 with 2 lore, that's a rare. Like that screams power to me.
Oh yeah. Like, oh hey, Hans.
Oh, look at you go.
Big old Hans. I like Hans. He's definitely in my
so much ice in the background. That's a hot card.
Yeah, I mean he's a 4 of in mine. And let me tell you, I love getting him out on the board. Like that 1 damage every time he quests just wrecks people.
Oh yeah.
And we have a common Donald Duck.
Another piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got a number of puzzle pieces already. I don't know what to do with those. Like, kind of a cool idea, but being in every pack, I wish there would have been something else, tokens of some sort or something.
Hmm.
And there we have it. We're not going to go through Mickey again. Not going to go through Peter Pan again. We're just going to skip through the ones that we haven't covered. Mr. Smee, he's not bad. I mean, he's balanced, but I think it's more thick gut than thick butt.
Yeah.
But 3 is fair cost with Inkable. Certainly a draftable card, right? Like I think I'd play with him in a draft. That's a big old butt. Elsa. Like I see her get played so she can get the 7 cost one out, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's
She's
exactly
a
where my
4/4.
thought was on it.
She's a 4/4 for 4 with no drawback, right?
But no other advantage, and that's the thing. I mean, 4/4 for 4 for 1 lore and nothing else tacked on. Like it's very common. And I mean, same thing with what we're seeing at Mickey here. You know, if anything, Mickey's a little bit better than Elsa is.
He's cheaper.
Yeah. I mean, you get, and instead of it being 3s across the board, you get 1 extra on his big booty.
Yep.
So I guess that this is a bit of a better card, and realistically, probably more playable in green as well, which is kind of creature focused.
And I mean, let's talk about something else. I mean, of course, the artwork on this one, lots of little girls love their Elsas.
And unfortunately,
about reaching
men that look like me. Put it in the comments down below. Are you one of them neckbeard boys that love Elsa?
But talk about just like an iconic piece of art. Like this just spoke to so many people. Not really so much me, but this is definitely targeted at the Disneyana-ites out there.
Oh, like, absolutely.
This Steamboat Pilot Mickey is just so iconic for the brand. So, I mean, kudos to that one. Simba,
the future.
I never see him get played. I don't, though he's not bad. Guess what? When you play this card, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card. So it's kind of like rummaging.
Yeah, and honestly, in Steel, that's a pretty good mechanic because it's not often you see that in Steel. It's usually a damage-focused color, so...
Oh, speaking of damage focus, holy Moses, let me get another cough drop here, folks, so that I'm not constantly coughing into the microphone. Readjust my setup so I can get a drink. Like I said, we're going to slow roll this one, folks. We're not going to rush through the 24 packs.
Right, hanging out, looking over some cool cards, and hopefully chilling with you guys, talking down below in the comment section. So,
Please
really
do.
appreciate getting to share this fun with you. And
if you enjoy it, make sure you subscribe and like, and even consider channel membership and join us on Cardboard Conversations every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern. But speaking about damage, Pat, how many times have you seen this Joker get played?
Too many, but luckily it is becoming more rare. I think that it's a little bit overpriced.
Overpriced at 5?
Yeah.
No. The strength of this is just too good.
It's solid. It's one of the few pieces of removal we do currently have, but I think we'll see that slowly go by the wayside.
Sure. As time moves on and removal gets different and better, some singable, removal. But this one, just nope. There's nope all over this. Like people just don't battle cruiser Lorcana. That's just not the vibe. It doesn't, things don't go that long.
Mm-hmm.
So poor Sven, he should have been like a 5/5 for 5s. Then he'd have been, inkable 5/5 for 5. And probably even 2 lore, even at that price. But at 1 lore, 5/7, what for? What purpose does he serve?
Yeah, I mean, 6 is super overpriced to get that guy out.
Yeah, that's a hard no. Mother knows best. Man, this thing has kicked my butt so many times.
Good old
straight up.
Yeah.
The song, I think they're tapped out. I play my dude, and they're like, "Up, turn that to your hand.
Tricked you.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Now this one I keep wanting to make work. He just never seems to. Because like 3 lore, 6 is just like it's that territory. Like
Yeah.
I'd rather him be like a 4-5 for 5 with the 3 lore, or maybe
Yeah.
even a 3-5 for 5 with 3 lore. But you just never seem to be able to get him out into play.
Yeah.
By
And
the
when you
time
do,
you
it's
do, it's
too
already
late.
over.
I mean, yeah.
Or you've already won.
Even if you had shift 4, that would make it a solid option.
Yeah, he's just not real playable. Man, we're just not getting many of the we haven't gotten any of the was it legendaries? Not a single one so far.
Well,
Not
at least we got
legendaries.
Simba here. And same deal we've been seeing with a lot of these cards. 7 as a casting cost is really high priced, and with no shift
No shift.
availability, he's just
Yeah,
got his
like
cool Challenger 4 in pounds.
he never gets into play.
Yeah, this is not a card that you'll probably ever see on the battlefield.
So he's in my opinion not playable. And we got Fire the Cannons. Now there's a playable card.
Yeah, that one
I played a
down for
dog
that.
stink out of it. Along with Captain Hook.
I like that right there.
Just wrecks, folks, with Captain Hook, so you can just go get it back. That's amazing. So, and I got it now in foil. It's a little dark, I'll be honest, compared to the non-cold foil version. All right. Moving right along. Oh, love the art on this one. This one really kind of brought me back.
Yeah.
Do you remember what movie this is from?
Man. I can't think of the name of the movie. Lay it on me.
Sword in the Stone.
Sword in the Stone. Jesus. And
like this is an old one. It's like 70s.
5 times.
Though you don't see him
That
get
tape
played
got wore
very
out
much.
as a kid well before I got there.
This card just doesn't have enough to warrant a spot. Like you never really, I don't ever see him played, and if you do, you're not afraid of him.
Right.
So unfortunate. Now, conversely, I see this guy get played all the time.
Yeah.
Like in red decks, you can pretty much, you're always waiting for either the Gaston to come out or he's already out and you're like trying to figure out a way to work around him.
Yeah, that's definitely.
And you know what works great against Gaston?
That Fire the Cannons.
Fire the Cannons. So Gaston, very playable. Mr. Smee, we've already covered. Elsa, we've covered. Genie, the ever impressive for a 2/3, but 1 lore for 2, very fair card.
Yep.
And will help you get your other Genie out later.
Exactly. That definitely hits the field. That one's around.
Like this is a playable card. I see him played frequently. But usually in green, I see more evasives or some other trickery, but definitely very playable, especially in a draft situation. Kristoff, I actually play him too because a 3/3 for 3 inkable for 2 lore. I mean, you have to address him.
Solid swinger right there.
When you play this guy, he's got to be addressed, or just 2 or 3 turns of 2 lore.
Mm-hmm.
That's just 2 questing. Like if you don't take him out on his first quest, that's already meaning that he's going to get to quest for 4 total, which is basically it is 1/5 of the game for this one card. So I love the 2 lore, especially low cost 2 lore. Which is why Lilo's so damn good. Scepter of Ardenel. I see people try to make this work, but it just doesn't.
I've had it work against me before. I do find support strong, but you have to have a decent amount of setup for this. And it only fits in certain strategies, which I think we'll see intermittently as we go.
I see people play this one from time to time. I'm not utterly impressed with it. It's a deck manipulation, but it's kind of in the wrong color, if you ask me. Like this ability would be stronger, in my opinion, in like purple.
I don't know. I use it. I think I run 4 of them in my lemon lime aggro. and it does work. I'm trying to get those creatures top of my deck into my hand onto the field as quick as possible, and this is, in a weird way, card draw, because you are putting it in your hand. And unlike most purple, or amethyst, pardon, 4 seems to be the traditional cost in Lorcana for drawing a card. And this at 2, with that bit of scry, it definitely it does work. I like it. Be my guest. Haha.
Just poor Simba, right? Like, I'm afraid that he got no love, right? Except for baby Simba.
I was gonna say Steel Simba's got the shaft.
Yeah, they sure did. If it was 4 inkable, I would say great card. But
during your turn,
whenever 5
this
non-inkable
banishes another character in a challenge, you gain 1 lore. No, fuck that noise.
Yeah, it's so almost never going to trigger, and even if it does, you're going to get 1 lore out of it. Like,
yeah, whoop-de-doo. Yeah,
like you're not going to get it multiple times, man. Oh wow! So we know we didn't get another super rare or even a legendary. Now Zeus, this one does remove a lot of my cards. The rush with the challenger indeed does take out a bunch of my stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Like, that takes out my big stuff, and it's like,
but even at that though, I mean, 4/4 for 4 lore with 2, like, it's fine.
It's done work against me. I'll say that much.
Yeah. It seems very on cost.
I mean, I'm not super impressed. It's not like, ooh, that's going to be, like a big card. This one, no.
Wow, that's so specific. Chosen villain character.
Yeah, I mean, just whatever. A situational thing, and wow, another common. So I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I like this card. This is an annoying card. It pairs well with Mickey. I love the flavor. It's just a complete win. We haven't covered another broom yet, and this is the cold foil one. But when you play this character, you may shuffle a card from any discard into its player's
discard into its player's deck. So I mean,
you can help out
a friend now, if you're playing multiplayer,
right? And if we figure out like a commander raids, that thing's going to get even more baller,
right?
If we figure out a commander raids version for Lorcana, that's certainly, if you're playing multiplayer and there's like a way to get rid of something, and you put it back in. Man, that's the second one. You see it? See it up at the top there? That's the second one that's come out of it. I don't know if that's a print dot.
Weird.
Because I can't really tell. No, it's definitely some sort of physical. I'm glad it's on the front card, but it's definitely some sort of like physical from the manufacturer. Kind of. That's unfortunate. But Jasmine, let's talk about Jasmine. So she's solid. A 3/3 for 3 inkable.
Oh yeah.
2 lore. Very solid card.
Absolutely.
Very, very solid.
She's a hitter. Yeah.
Like, I have no problem putting her in a deck. I don't see. I mean, because to be quite honest, it's the same thing as Kristoff, just in blue.
Except Jasmine's really hot.
That is true. Surfer Elsa, just wrong color. Like this needed to be purple.
Yep. It's what I often refer to as the not good Elsa.
It's good, but it's in the wrong color. Like, I'd rather swap the other one. It's like just pointless. That's no Blizzard. Whenever you play a character named Anna, which is purple, by the way, ready to, or is there a blue Anna too? I think they're only purple, right? Anna.
I don't even know which Annas there are. I've never seen Frozen, so I'm kind of unfamiliar.
The redheaded sister, but at any rate, but the bigger problem is that this character can't quest for the rest of the turn. But like, you could not the best. We'll just move on. Healing Glow. I wanted to like this before I
Yeah.
started playing, and I just don't.
Right. Yeah. I wanted to like it, but then I used it once or twice and realized it was not a usable card.
No, that healing effect just doesn't do enough.
Yeah.
This is another card that you just never see played. Sorry, there's just too many other good ones. 3/4 for 3 is not bad, and Inkable not bad, but the one lore just makes it
Just does
like it needed
nothing for
something
you.
else. It needed to have
Right.
something here,
Some
right?
words.
You know, like scry of some sort.
Mhm.
This one's solid enough. It's a 2/2 butt for 1 Inkable, 1 lore. Very playable.
Cheap, easy
Very,
to
very
get
playable.
out. Yep.
Conversely, this one never gets played.
Yeah. It's just too high priced for not enough payoff.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything special. It's a 5/6. Okay, cool. But only 1 lore. It's not going to turn the tide when it needs to. Here's the card you and I both looked at and said, I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah.
So, indeed, did not even know this one existed. And you know what? It can just stay in the realm of don't care.
Right. Yeah.
Just
Card
absolutely
that
nothing
doesn't mean
impressive about
anything
this.
to anybody. Yeah.
Reflection. I don't ever see this one played either.
I don't think I've ever
That's
seen
really
this card. Look at top 3 cards of your deck, put them back in any order. That's
okay.
fine.
Okay, cool.
Right.
It's inkable.
Yeah, and it's
Like
a song too, so I mean it could
like if I was drafting, maybe.
yeah.
You know, to help. Now Flynn, on the other hand, however,
this guy's pretty
if you
solid.
play against green, you're very likely to see this guy hit the board. And it's not just because he's a 1/2, which is not that impressive, with 2 lore for 2, inkable.
It's just
But
that
whenever this
annoying
challenging player chooses and discards a card.
Ugh.
Another not so played card.
I was gonna say that uncommon is far better than this rare.
Yeah, this one just we're gonna move past it and just say not playable. And gosh, another rare and a terrible one at that. 8.
Get the fuck
non-inkable 8.
Yeah,
non-inkable 8/6/6. I don't even care about the shift.
Hello, card that will never get played.
Like I just can't imagine this thing ever seeing play ever.
Nah.
Like if you didn't make it so they couldn't, like it would be playable if they could quest this turn, because this would be like your game winner, right? That rousing speech. When you play this character, ready your characters with cost 3 or less. They cannot quest for the rest of the
so
turn.
expensive, so very little payoff.
Like if they didn't include that last sentence, this would be playable. I wouldn't say it would be great playable, but at least it would be playable. Like, haha, I win, right?
Right. Yeah.
As it is, it's like this is terrible. With 1 lore, it needs to have like 3 lore at a minimum. Like there's just what a terrible rare. Oh, hey, at least I got a rare.
It's another scar.
Oh, wow. And yet again, another freaking just not going to see play.
Played card. Yeah. When you play this character, chosen opposing character gets -5 attack this turn, which is so very whatever.
Yeah, that's just next. So next.
Let's take a quick pause. I got to hit the
back from our brief intermission. So far, I've yet to sleeve a single card. I will sleeve my rares, but I got to put them up together. Part of what I'm doing this for is I want a play set, and I'll be honest with you, even the crappy cards, I'm happy to have. Wow. Mufasa I've actually had played against me, but it's not a great card, but at least, it's something that I have to consider, right? When it hits the board, if it hits the board, and in blue, you can reduce at least 1 cost off of this, right? So you could consider it a 5, because you're gonna ramp at least once or twice before this hits the board.
yeah.
So this guy can come out by like turn 4.
I don't think we've seen my favorite blue card yet.
Well, we'll have to keep people in suspense, and hopefully we'll hit it. Pongo is another one. I think that's just like a pet card. Giggity. Yeah,
Yeah.
no pun intended. He's got evasive, but he's just a little bit too expensive at
Yeah.
4, right?
Well, I mean, that really screams Dalmatian in general. It's fine enough, but it's just a bit too expensive for no good reason.
Like I want to like it. I think it would be great in limited. I think he really would be. But hey, here we go. There's an all-star.
I mean, what a hitter. Out of the commons, that's just one of the best. Wardrobe, we've seen you. You're just a body.
Aladdin does work.
Ali.
Fire the Cannons is an all-star in my book.
It's a hit for sure.
Coconut Basket is just
I tried. I did. I actually bought some of these when Lorcana was starting to spike and was becoming clearly unavailable. I thought this was going to be a good card. It's not.
It's
Short
not.
story.
It's just really not. Now there's that Ariel again. That's voiceless.
Yeah.
Again, I don't love her. She's not terrible. She's playable.
Although I do get a kick out of the lore text at the bottom, the flavor text that they put on that Ariel voiceless, where it's just 2 quotes and it doesn't say anything. That kind of made me smile a bit. But that's just an expression of that card's useless.
Like, if you want to talk about flavors for cards, like this is one of the biggest wins in the entire set for flavor. Voiceless Ariel on legs. Yeah. She can't sing songs. Yeah. Crunk. That's exactly what this is, a bunch of crunk.
Yeah.
80s. Now,
80s.
There's a very playable card that I play 4 of that's annoying as all hell.
I mean, for
Especially
4,
if you get
a
3/2.
3/2. Yeah. It's
light
body until you read the Well of the Souls ability.
And then he just keeps going. You play him, he dies. Oh, you play the other one in your hand, and the other one comes back. You kill him, you play that one, and hey, guess what? This guy comes back. It's like he is super strong.
Yeah.
Super strong. Hey, not exactly the one we're looking for, but that's a super rare. Genie on the job. We need the foily boy one, but what have we got? Is another common? We got a common? Yep, sure enough.
Flounder, which is actually very solid.
He's very playable, but he's very dark. I'll be honest. This cold foil one is very dark ink, so that's interesting. Flounder is definitely playable. The 2/2 for 1 inkable, 1 lore, definitely playable. I don't know that I would construct a deck with him in it, to be honest. Like there's just blue doesn't seem to do well by itself, right? Like
no.
It needs to have other things with it, some other color to really do the other stuff.
That's where we're at for most Lorcana pre-constructed decks in general is that you really do have to mix colors. There just isn't enough depth.
I don't know. Green seems to be so solid. Like if I had to pick one monocolor, it'd probably be green. It just seems to go.
I get that.
Outside of that would be amber, right? One of those two. Like amber, you almost see solo colored. Aurora, meh.
Yeah, no, that's definitely how I'm feeling. Is okay, another character gets -2, whatever. I'd rather play Sergeant Tibbs. I'd rather just play this card.
Solid. It's a 2/2 butt for 1 lore. What more do you want? Hey, see that Joker all the time too, boy. He gets a lot of play.
Oh yeah,
and he might be the most shifted card on top of it. I don't know. Like he's definitely going to be close. It'll either be him or Tink, one of those two.
Okay.
Isma. 2/2 for 2. You're excused when this character quest excuse me. Whenever this character quest, look at the top card of your deck, put it either on top or bottom of your deck. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I think this is another one of the promo cards for winning the season.
Okay.
Sudden Chill. I don't think I've ever seen this. Yeah. Why am I not? I'm not familiar with this. Each opponent chooses and discards a card. Oh, that'll be strong in multiplayer. That'll definitely get played in multiplayer. Woo! Goons. I mean, what can you say? It's another one inkable 2/2
Yeah,
with little
I
one
mean
roll.
that just solid banger right there in steel.
Poor Tigger. Just too
Oh,
expensive by far.
I don't
By
understand why
far.
it's not a 4.
Because it's got evasive. I could see 5. But what would be better if this was a 4 casting cost, 3/4 or 4/3, or even a 4/2 or a 2/4, right? But 6, you ain't seeing play.
Yeah, that's just
That now Pascal, on the other hand, does see a lot of play. When you go that evasive strategy, boy, I see Pascal played quite a bit. Strong card for what it is. Cheshire Cat, another pain in the butt.
I love that smile though.
2 lore. Doesn't really need to have power because when this character is challenged and banished, banish the challenging character. So real tough to remove this guy.
Oh yeah.
Mickey the Mouse. There we go. The Gen Con exclusive. This is my first copy that's not the Gen Con exclusive. So happy to have him. Yeah. What do we got? What do we got? Slow roll it. Another. Wow. Lots and lots of rares in this box.
Good old
But the Moana. I think I've seen her played once or twice, but she's not super popular. I mean, not terrible. I think it's the one power that just really is not.
It's definitely off-putting, having such low strength, and on top of that as well, the casting cost of 5 is not doing it any favors.
No, and it's not even shiftable. And a foil or Ursula's Cauldron. Now, Ursula's Cauldron, I do see played quite a bit, actually. All right, are we halfway through yet?
No.
We got 15 packs to go, so this will be the 9th pack, I guess. Does that seem right? I'm starting to make a mess here. Maleficent. Definitely a played card. Like, it's not super great, but I see it quite often. I think it's because blue, because by the time you get her at, like, you've already ramped. It's a 3/4 body, like on probably turn 3. That's 2 lore. Tough to get rid of. Very solid for a common. Like, I would love to see that in a draft deck, right? If I was playing blue, because you need some big butts in blue that aren't too big. The problem is you go from like mediocre to like small 1/2s, 2/2s in blue, straight to like the 4 or 5s, but it costs 7 to play. Aladdin definitely sees play. And it's because of that. You can't underestimate that ability, that when he gets played, each opponent loses 1 lore. That is so strong. I just discount. Like, I think he's overcosted, but I mean, I don't know what else you would cost him. Like, it just seems right. Maybe make him not inkable, I think, is the right move. Like, I think that would make that a little more fair for a common, but he sees a lot of play for sure.
Oh yeah.
On the other hand, Minnie does not. She just doesn't. She doesn't warrant that two cost slot, even though she's inkable 2/3.
So many other cards, even just
like if she had 2 lore, maybe. Again, she's so vanilla. Minnie is just the most vanilla card that I don't get it. Somebody hates Minnie out there at Ravensburger. Now, on the other hand, talk about a spicy meatball.
Yep. That's just
if you play against purple, you can guarantee you're going to see this card.
And I mean, to make it
this might be the strongest common. Yeah. This might be the strongest common in the entire set. I'll be honest with you. 3 inkable, draw 2 cards. It's a singable card.
It's so good.
Seriously. It's so good. It's so good. It's such a momentum shift. Now, Megara, I don't think I've ever seen her get played.
I've seen it a couple of times, and honestly, it's just not that. It seems like a filler card. Like, that seems more like a draft type card when you need to hit your colors, but you don't even need to in draft. So, no, that's probably.
I think I'd be inking the shit out of that card.
Yeah, I think.
Now the Beast Mirror, I love this card. I do love this card. This helps break the stalemate if you're playing Steel Ruby, and you're just blowing everything up, and everybody's like out of cards, and you got a couple of these on the board, and you just start taking over by getting card advantage. Really do. It's a great card. This is like the number one target when you see Beast come out. It blows this one up. It's like Beast blows up his own mirror. That's like the play. We've already talked about this one. I'm not impressed with it. You're much more impressed with it than I am. This is not bad. This is more like what I think Moana should have been. It's a singer, and it sings above its value, so that's good. It's a 4 casting cost. Wonderful Dream, tap, remove up to 3 damage from chosen princess character. So that's, not terrible.
I'd like
$5 hard to get rid of.
It feels good for uncommon.
Oh.
How it's kind of specific for a princess character for the damage removal. I think that's very fitting for uncommon.
Well, and she does a lot already for an uncommon, right?
Yeah.
Like she's got a lot of utility. And 4 casting costs is not that bad in any color. On the other hand, non-inkable,
still not
5, just not. No, go away. Hey, there is probably one of the more iconic cards if you've ever played on Pixelborn.
Yeah, and I've got to say, I think Lilo in every version that I've seen her in the first chapter, adorable as shit.
Oh, not unhappy. Hey, there we go. There's the Ariel that's Mo better. Way Mo better. She is a 3 casting cost, 5 singer, so she can sing her ass off. But I don't know. Does she even have an ass?
I don't know. She definitely seems top heavy, if you know what I mean.
You're such a degenerate. When you play this character, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal a song card and put that in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library deck in any order. What can I say? It's a great card. It just bravo, good job.
Yeah, and it works really well with itself. Ooh. So when you play it, you're able to kind of scry up, search a bit, and then it's got the upgraded singer ability on it. So, it's feeding into itself. And that's one of the things, like it's one of those self-powering kind of things. And look at you getting a foil rare as well. You're really knocking them out of the park. Do it again.
Annoying card in green. Definitely have played against it many times, but return an action card from your discard to your hand. Especially the Mother Knows Best, I think, is the one that it typically goes and gets.
Yeah.
The one that bounces cards back to your hand. So it's just like, well, I'm going to play my evasive lore people and keep bouncing your answers back to your hand. So
That's one of those times where, like, if you're playing green on green, it works well. So you can have the bit of a ward ability. But, I think one of the things is looking forward to some of the, further sets that as we get deeper into the card pool, we're going to see a bit more strength in individual cards. And I think that's going to be really helpful, actually, is a bit more power creep would probably do Lorcana well.
Well, but I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's let the game grow first, right? Like Pixelborn has done a great job. Thank God it exists, right? Imagine Lorcana without Pixelborn. They should be paying those folks. Yeah, Merlin talked about Mini. Just what a tragedy. Sebastian, first time we've seen him, does just fine. He's a singer
really
4, 2,
good, honestly. The singer 4 on a 2/2 for 2 with 1 lore, like that's
almost
very
overpowered for a common. Like their commons are, you know what I mean? Unlike Magic, it's like that's super playable. Like,
oh yeah, realistically, I think that by and by there are better commons than uncommons in Lorcana. Take that as the hotness that take is, but I think there are commons that outweigh most uncommons.
The only thing I can say on this one is I would play Jetsam ahead of Flotsam. Like. That's about it. Even though it's a lower rarity.
Yeah, trash brother.
But it's not great. Genie, looking good. Beast Mirror, again, just a solid mirror card. Wow, I think that's the first cut to the chase we've gotten.
Yeah.
Chosen character gains rush this turn. They can challenge the turn that they're played. It's overcosted. It needs to be a 1.
Who would
like it?
Who? Why?
I don't know. Maybe it's 0 casting costs, right? Can you imagine?
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Is like, is 1 even a good enough price for me to want to do this?
Well, like 1 inkable, like they don't have any 0 casting costs. I don't know. Yeah. Hey, there's Olaf. Makes me happy. That's just a happy looking card.
He's
It's
a fucking
wintertime. It's
snowman.
snowy outside. Olaf, a 1/3 butt for 1/1 lore. Now, see, he's not super iconic like Mini, so I don't feel like they did him dirty. Like, he's a goof. It's just, it's so fitting. Like,
Yeah.
and when he's out there, you're like, huh, a 1/3 butt?
Right. Do I need to pay attention to this or what's, yeah.
And then the Beast is mine. I don't ever see this one get played.
Yeah.
Way too expensive.
During their next turn. Why would, yeah, that's not worth it at all.
And Cusco.
Oh,
This card sees a boatload of play. The ward ability is so crippling on this card.
And
I don't even care.
The price and the lore on it, along with No Touchy, which thematically, I love the naming convention, but it's fucking good.
It's a good card. This is a very, very good card. I think eventually this will cost more than Lilo. Like, it's just such a game winner. And another rare. This one, I think it's got future legs. And it's because of It Works, right? So it's overcosted as it is currently. Whenever this character quests, you may pay 2 less for the next item you play this turn. So that'll help itself. Whenever you play an item, you may draw a card. But as is right now with the current total library of cards, he's not busted yet, but this is one to keep your eye on. This is one to definitely keep your eye on into the future, and it's because of that bottom ability, mark my words, and a common.
Tangle.
Never seen this one played, but I think if multiplayer becomes more of a thing, absolutely you're going to see this guy get played along with Aladdin. Like, it's just going to happen.
I could see that working well in a funny synergy too. You know, anytime somebody else loses a lore, you gain a lore, and just boom, hey, that's a clutch piece in that.
It's common. You know what I mean? Like, they're commons. And this is the thing, like, we're talking about commons having, future legs, right? And that's what's exciting about this game, is that there's so much room for it to grow. Which I love. It's not already busted, but you can already see some future exciting synergies. Unfortunately, like Minnie, you just won't because she's vanilla. Donald, just too expensive. Sorry, he just is. I never see him played ever.
Yeah, and the ward's not really making up for the pricing on it.
Like, he needs to have draw a card, or at least draw a ditch, or ramp again. Like late game ramp. I don't know, something. But he's just not enough the way that he is. Goofy, on the other hand, I do see this Joker get played, even though he's expensive.
Yeah.
The 2 lore, late game, 3/4, evasive.
Evasive is so fucking annoying, and he just seems to keep working. Yeah.
He finishes games. There's your Hakuna Matata. Maybe I should give it more props than I have. Magic Broom, talked about it before. The annoying card that just keeps coming back.
You see it. Yeah.
Stampede. I want to see this thing do things, and I've seen it played against me on rare occasion, but not frequently.
Yeah.
Because it's too conditional with the damage that something has to be damaged already.
Cerberus still
just right on. We're going to go right past. Now, Bell. Yeah. That is actually a good card. I think played in combination with that other with Maurice.
Yeah.
Whenever this character quests, you pay 1 less for the next item you play this turn. Right? So I think you're going to see Maurice Bell decks in the future. I think that's going to be a thing.
Especially in blue, and it really leans into the synergy of ramp as well, getting stuff out for below cost. I don't think I've ever seen this version of Maximus before.
I've seen it. I tried to play it. It doesn't work.
It doesn't seem great.
No, it's not. It needs to be 2 lore at least, right? It just unimpressive.
Good old Starkey.
Starkey, I've never seen him played either.
Yeah. I mean, 5/5 for a 5/4 with 1, it's sort of whatever. At least it's inkable. But when you have a captain character in play, this character gets +1 lore. It's very whatever.
Yeah, like if it was 2 lore innately and it could become 3 lore, then you have something. But as is, I'm just moving on. Steal from the Rich is a card I have never, ever seen played.
Wow.
Whenever one of your character quests this turn, each opponent loses 1 lore.
Is that more
5.
than? Is that more than once? Whenever one of your characters quest this turn, each opponent loses 1 lore. So if I have 5 that quest, does everybody lose 5?
Sure, I guess.
So I mean, in that instance, like you have to really. This seems like it would be rather good.
When do you ever get 5 characters on a board state and you're not already? It would be a win more at best. When do you ever go wide in Lorcana?
It seems so early still, and that's the thing is like 20 lore to win just seems so low of a bar.
Like if this was 2 or 3 and a song,
do it, yeah,
maybe. But it's at best it's a win more card, right?
Yeah.
At
if
best.
this were 3, then yeah, I'd see it. But at 5, no.
Like I said, 2 or 3 singable. It needs to be a 2 or 3 song, right? But it's just not. We got a super. Hey, Robin Hood. He's actually all right.
Yeah.
I don't ever see him played, but I know he's good. I know he's got legs. Feed the poor. When you play this character, if an opponent has more cards in their hand than you, draw a card, which is not bad. He really needs to have some form of shift, but there's no other smaller Robin Hood. Good shot. During your turn, this character gains evasive on your turn. So basically, you can attack other people's evasives.
Right.
That's the only thing it's good for. Okay. Hey, look, another. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's a spicy potato. He's a little expensive, but he does have shift, and his ability is just brutal.
Into the shadows.
And I think he'll be stronger as we move forward. I'm very happy. So far, that's like the hit of the box.
That feels like the big one so far.
He's
whenever
strong.
One of your other characters is banished in a challenge, you may return that card to your hand. Yes, that's correct. If this is on the battlefield and one of your other characters dies in a challenge, you just get to put it back in your hand. It is that good. Yes,
it's good. That's a strong card.
It's probably the only card 7 casting cost I can think of that is worth playing.
It's never going to be 7. You're going to shift it for 5, and you're probably going to even play that like in a sapphire,
right? A blue purple deck where you're ramping that shit early. Yeah.
There's the Flounder again. Love the Flounder. Great flavor little card. Just awesome. Fun to see. Very happy when I saw it.
It's surprising. We still have not seen my favorite common of this set.
We'll get there. Sergeant Tibbs, again, talking very positively about it. It's good solid card. Dingle Hopper, great flavor, terrible card. Yzma.
I love Yzma. Honestly, Eartha Kitt was a phenomenal actress on top of being a great singer. A stolen scimitar.
Not bad. Would be playable and limited is the only way I could really see it. I see people try to play it in their decks, but the problem is it just takes up a spot in the deck, right? So you're not doing much else that turn. And no offense, but it's just meh. I'm very meh about this card. Kristoff. Yeah, he's a baller. Love him.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bob. The card I'm talking about is actually an uncommon. I just looked it up to make sure. It's an uncommon, but we still have not seen it.
Well, this is an uncommon that I wish I didn't see again. Mm-hmm. Ursula's Cauldron again.
You've got more cauldrons than Ursula does.
Right? I've got her cauldron. Like, she needs to call me if she wants that thing back. The beast is mine. What do we got? We got Is it always a rare? Oh God, a terrible rare at that.
Huh?
Yeah, never gets played ever.
Reckless. Yeah, it's super.
Are we ever going to see a
whatever.
legendary in this box? Like, am I going to get one?
Maleficent.
That's
the blue
actually a
one.
strong card. When she gets out there, she needs to be answered. Otherwise, you're probably going to lose.
I mean, 5/5 for a 3/6 is definitely a mix. It's inkable, so you're getting a little bit more action there. But 3 lore. This thing definitely is doing
Goes to
when it
work.
gets out.
And Cinderella.
Okay.
All right, we need to see a little more heat. We're definitely. Let me see. We're down to 12. We're halfway through the box and have not seen a single, not one, legendary yet.
No legendaries or enchanteds yet.
Oh, well, I think that's shooting a little high to go for the enchanted. Develop your brain. Definitely a very played card.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think it's making a mess. I think it's a very solid card. I think it's going to continue to see play. I don't know that this will ever fall out of favor. I mean, what do you want? It's an inkable one. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Put one into your hand. It's draw a card for 1.
Yeah, you can't really do much better than that.
What do you want? Yeah. Like, great little card. On the other hand, a 5/3 for 4 is fair with 1 lore. It feels very fair for a common.
Yeah. It's probably the only Scar that I would actually want to play.
I wouldn't want to play it, but I would play it like in a draft.
Yeah.
Healing Glow, I wouldn't even play in a draft. Dr. Facilier would absolutely love that with the other Dr. Facilier. He's going to stick around for a while with a 4-butt, more than likely. And
I mean, realistically, a 2/4 for 1, 2/4 for 2 inkable with 1 lore. That's a very solid common.
Oh yeah, very good card.
Better than Horus.
I see a lot, man. Deceptively, and he causes me heartburn. Right, he takes out my big dudes. Inkable, 1 lore. Just I hate when I see him on the board. Really do. Aladdin, I actually love this card, and I play him in my steel deck. Now he gets wrecked with that.
Yeah,
grab your swords, but he's solid. You better answer him because he's got 2 lore, and he get out there and he's like, okay, fine.
Well, and that's the thing is, it being a 2/1 doesn't matter a whole lot because even if it were, there it is, Bob,
Gravitala, baby.
That's honestly
in every blue deck.
This is fucking staple right here. This is probably one of the best cards out of the whole set, in my opinion. Right here is Grandma Tala. It's a 2 inkable for a 1/1 with 1 lore. That doesn't sound great, but you have I Will Be With You. When this character is banished, you may put this card on top of your inkwell, face down and exerted. So you know what that means? That you quest every single fucking turn with it, and either you win the game faster or they answer it and you win the game faster. There is
you can prevent them from questing, right?
Yeah.
They run tap and you're gonna
yeah.
Right.
So, and even when people are doing like Dragon's Breath or they do fire the cannons, it's still banishing this character. So you're still getting it out there. So realistically, it's a 1/1 for 1 with 1, and you are getting action. Wonderful card. Always works out. Yeah.
Great card.
Never not been great.
Cinderella, again, have a bunch of her so far. Wow, that's the first time I think we've seen that one. And I don't ever see it played, though it's not bad. Draw 2 cards, then choose and discard 2 cards.
It seems like it's better than it really is, though.
It's solid. I mean, it's just a Steel doesn't have that strategy, right? Like you hate getting rid of any cards in Steel. All right, so I can tell you it's not an enchanted, folks. On the back, I saw enough of the border. So spoiler alert. Oh look, so it's not always a rare afterwards. We got a super rare. Looks like a bad one. That's not great. I want this card to be good. I want to have a bunch of this card because I think that he eventually you get +1 for each item you have in play. The problem is you just got to get a bunch of items in play. And the problem with that is you're not doing much else if you do.
And you need to get him in play. And for 8, that's a tough ask.
Yeah. I mean, I want him to be good. We'll see what happens in the future, but I won't hold my breath on him. He is kind of oh, hey, we finally got one.
Well, look at that. We got 2 not rares in a pack. We got a super rare and a legendary.
Oh, and a good one at that, my friends.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Stitch.
Good stuff.
Hello.
Bob. Love
Whenever
that.
you play this character, if you have 2 or more other characters in play, you may draw 2 cards. That is just beast.
I mean, just juiced.
The problem is he's 7, and it's so hard to get him into play, especially in Amber.
But still, I mean, right there, draw 2 cards on it. Like, that's the power level that says that is equivalent for a 7 casting cost. Like,
yeah, I mean, he's appropriate, and a 4/8, but good luck. You ain't getting rid of this guy.
Oh, dude, and you got a cold foil rare. That was a fucking pack.
Do we know what it is from this point? I don't.
What I believe you were trying to say is thank you. Let us know down in the comment section below if you can think of what it is. It's got reckless, so it's probably red. I'm going for an
I know what this is.
I think it's the security guard guy from Aladdin.
This gives it away. There's no lore.
Oh, okay.
He's big. I'm going to say is it 8 casting cost? 5 casting cost. I knew it. Maui.
Ah, dang.
He's all right. I see him played. He's definite removal. Definite removal. And when he hits the board, he's trouble. He says, let's get it on. Big old Maui.
That was a fire pack right there, Bob.
That was an all right pack. Not terrible. Not terrible. We need to see more like that, Flounder, like it. Tangle, future. Sebastian, decent. Tink, I think it's the first time we've seen that Tink. Maybe not.
Yeah, I think this is. So I call this one Stinker Bell because honestly, for 5, that thing's a hot garbage.
I don't know. With the evasive, man, when she hits the board, it's like, oh.
I think that this is a utility piece to get your other Tinkerbells out.
I think it's the first time we've seen the Vicious Betrayal.
Mm-hmm.
Chosen character gets +2 attack this turn. If a villain character is chosen, they get +3 instead. I can't imagine this taking a spot in the deck.
Nope.
There we go. I think we've already seen her, though. That's the Tink that everybody plays.
Yeah, this one's definitely the better of the 2 in common.
Yeah. She gets played. I played
Fan the Flame.
Wow, I don't think we've seen that one yet.
No.
Fanny, your flames, and ready chosen character. They can't quest for the rest of his turn. It's just so stupid. Like, readying a character doesn't really matter that much to me. Questing again is so huge. There's Anna. You were asking about Anna. Yeah. That's her.
Oh, okay.
And a 2/4 for 4.
Well, as far as the readying character thing, I can see that being useful later on when you are able to even now, it's kind of helpful. If you have tap, remove 3 damage from a character, okay, ready it. And then you can do it again. But that's so niche case. I think maybe later on, like we discussed, there will be some lore doubling or something. But this card here, we've got Anna, 2/4, 2 lore, Loving Heart. When you play this character, if you have a character named Elsa in play, choose an opposing character. That character doesn't ready at the start of their next turn.
This is crushing. Once you get to the state where you've got Elsa in play and you get Anna out there, it just locks the game down.
Yeah.
This is where they reach across and say good game.
Yeah. Yeah. That's scaling out my cards. That's tough. Yeah.
Well, because that's basically what Elsa does, right?
Yeah.
Tea Party, honestly, never seen this one played, but it looks good.
I've played against this, and I have it in one of my green decks. It's decent, but for 5 lore, it's expensive to get it out, and
Yeah, but
people
it's not
just
free.
decide not to challenge it until the game's pretty much decided. They would rather not just feed in and give you the card draw and just
But
say, "Screw it."
if you give them reckless, it's kind of they don't have a choice. Hey, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
This is another one that's going to go into that Bell Tinker, items with Maurice, probably Tamatoa. I just see all that coming together, where items matter.
Well,
Right.
I think that one of the most broken things we might see in Lorcana is items that become singable. And if we do, boom, right here, this card's just out the door, running hot. Oh,
Got our
Bob.
second legendary. What do we got? What is it? What is it?
We got
It's
a
got
full screen
one
here.
more. My favorite part. While you have 10 or more cards in your inkwell. Oh yes! I know what this card is.
Yeah,
I got this in my first when I the release party event that I went to. And this was the card that I pulled out of my pack from that. So very happy to see her yet once again. Belle, just a beast of a card. Only 4 to cast. Read a book. During your turn, you can ramp away, my friend. And when you have 10 or more cards in your inkwell, she's a 5 lore seeker. Like, just
that's just
gross almost.
Yikes. That's it's got, oh man, there's a reason that's one of the most sought after cards out of this set. I mean,
and I love it. And I mean, just the art too. I mean, let's take a look at the art real quick. Talk about pretty princesses, just iconic art.
And I mean, she's reading a book. Like, she's doing the princess stuff. Like,
she's a story-born hero princess. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, just
and then good, not just
wow, that was really surprising. Very happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, not just to go all fanboy lovey-dovey for Disney shit, but also the mechanics of it. That Blue is known for the ramp, and that they built that into like the premier blue card of the deck. You're seeing so many in like the same spot.
Yeah, there must have been something wrong with the machine that collated these cards. That's unfortunate because you don't see that a lot with the Lorcana cards. The quality has just been excellent. So that's disappointing. I mean, I'm glad they're all on commons. You know what I mean? I'm not seeing roller marks and all that. And to be honest with you, if you saw that on a Magic card, you'd be like, meh.
Like, look at you. Look at Stitch. You. 1, 2, 3 for 1. Like, you can't do much better. 1, 2, 2 for 1. Like, it's the same thing, and it's still so fucking good.
This card, you could do a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Oh, there's my boy. I love this card.
Honestly, like,
I love this card.
That's pretty much the only way you can do better than those cards I was just lauding.
That Challenger too.
A 3/2. Like, get the fuck out of here.
And he's inkable. Like, just love Hook. I love the art. It's my favorite art. I went out and got. I mean, let's put the my money where my mouth is. I went out and got the sleeves. I went out and picked up. I got them somewhere. I got another box of these sleeves because they're my favorite. Hell, I may even go get more of those sleeves because that's just I love it. Not that I love Hook, but I love the art. I love the look of it. That's why I had this playmat made. It's my favorite art.
Dark and brooding, but it's also a great contrast of both like bright and dark colors on the card.
Sure.
Let us know down in the comment section below what your thoughts are on some of the artwork here. Personally, for me, I was born in 87, so seeing some of these bright, flashy colors really does it for me. These are stark contrasts as we, scan over these cards. I like this style.
Card does very well. Like, I think it's a slightly overcosted, but I don't know because that's such a powerful ability. If this hits the board, you have to deal with this, or you're probably going to lose.
Kicker, it's an item.
Yeah, I mean, in blue, like just there's shit. Like, you feel there's future shenanigans coming down the road for blue.
Yeah, Well, and
Hey,
I mean, just
there's your
realistically,
Maximus.
so pull that back up. With if you've got Maurice out, okay, you play Maurice turn 3 a little bit early. Oh, hey, when he quests, your next card that's an item costs 2 less. So on turn 4, you're playing this for 2 and another card.
Well, and I
You
think
know,
Bell along also reduces the cost too.
yeah. So
When she
there's
quests.
by 1 when she quests. So you can get this out for 1
One.
on
Or
like
maybe nothing if you have 2 bells.
yeah. So there's definitely a lot of action, especially when you have 4 of those.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like throwing so much extra action out there.
Uh,
Maximus, you're
who cares?
mediumus.
Oh, there we go. Hulk smash.
Smash.
This is a great card, and it, like if you're playing steel removal, this just makes the cut. It just does. I would definitely draft that high up in the draft. Oh, hey, the other Dr. Facili A.
Yeah.
I'm not
Solid
really sure what
card.
his ability is. Kind of expensive for a 1 lore. Whenever you play a song, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one. Also, you can dig for your other Dr. Facili A. Oof.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
pretty
But
decent.
that's pretty specific, though, because I don't know a lot of songs in purple other than that other one.
Well, it would probably just pair well with your other colors. So maybe put amber to it or blue there.
Yeah, Amber would go well.
Yeah. A
We
super
got
rare.
1 lore. Puny Pirate. What? 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 What?
Oh shit! It's the Super King.
Oh! I told you I wanted her.
You okay? This box definitely took a big turn for the positive here.
Sure did.
Yeah,
Definitely
dude.
not
Okay,
a.
so just the reasons why this is such a good card, right? 6 inkable, little expensive, but offsets it with a 4, 5, and 2 lore. Shiftable for 4, so very good right there. Rock the boat. When you play this character, deal 1 damage to each opposing character. Okay, that's pretty good. During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, do 2 damage to chosen opposing character. And it's on a 4/5 body. So this
Well,
is gonna
it's more
trigger.
important than that, though,
Oh,
right?
it's so annoying.
What's more important than that, and I just revealed the last one, is let's take a look. All right, so this 3, right? The neat thing about Shift, I'll just spoil the Isma, that is Foily Boy. So the summoning sickness, if you will, or what they call it, the drying ink, applies to the card that you played before it. So when you shift this one the next turn for a shift 4, she gets to attack the turn that she comes into play. So she'll deal 1 damage, and if anything is tapped and she can deal, tap it, attack to another one, you get to deal 2 more damage on top of the 4 damage you're dealing to something. And you get to deal 2 more to another character. Like, it's so much removal. It's just too much. Right? So that's the play, right? The low cost.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's conquering. Like that when that tank comes out, it is literally just like, okay, this person has won the game. They've got their setup now, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean it's brutal. It's brutal when it hits the table. The bad thing is you can see it coming. Like, as soon as that other 3 tank comes out and they get that 4th tank on the table, you're like, oh boy. Maleficent, again, I think a very solid card. Aladdin, like I said, played in the whole minus thing. Mini done dirty. Oh no! I got all excited there for a second. I was like, thought I saw like colorful card in the back.
Extra
I need
borders. Yeah.
And so I saw the extra borders, and there's no extra borders on the back card. What a shock! So Mini, Jetsam, Horus, Hook. There's a new one, King Triton. I'd never see him played ever. A vanilla,
that guy's
5/9 for 7 for 2 lore. He needed to like have 5 lore or something, to make him even considered. But no, hard no. Goofy. I like this card, but he's pretty expensive. Very hard to get him out into play. I put him in a deck, but just super hard. I wanted the Mouseketeers to be more, but they're just not. It's not a good synergy. It's just not good. Maybe they'll come up with more Musketeers
and
to make them.
I like the Bodyguard on a 3/6. That's super fitting, but for 5, it's just a bit too much. Even if it were 4 for
especially for 1 more.
5, yeah,
it's like just it's not enough.
Yeah.
Now this Lilo I play all the time, and I don't see other people play her a lot. But a 4/2 with 2 lore for 3. Yeah, that's a lot of choices that they have to expend some serious resources to get rid of. Like, don't get rid of her, and she'll cheer you up. Oh, there we go. Like, she has to be addressed.
Yeah.
Oh, and a super rare behind it. So this super rare, hey, I don't think I have that one. Mickey Mouse, Artful Rogue. 7 casting costs, but it's shift 5 at least. So you probably want to steamboat Mickey. 2 lore. Misdirection. Whenever you play an action, opposing character can't quest during their next. That's strong.
Yeah. Especially because that's the win condition is questing.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty damn strong. I wonder why we don't see it more. Huh. And then there's a card. That is a good card.
Oh yeah, that's it right there.
Box is definitely picked up the pace. And then we have an oh god. So for as good as those 2 super rares were, that was not very good. That was not good.
Yeah, so A Whole New World, that one's definitely a banger. It's we don't have a lot of board wipes yet. And I think that there's one in red and A Whole New World there in steel are the only 2 true board wipes that we have so far in Lorcana.
It's not a board wipe. Whole New World's not board wipe. It's a wheel.
Oh, am I thinking of the other one? I'm thinking of Grab Your Swords.
Grab Your Sword is kind of a board wipe, kind of ish.
Yeah.
Pink can be a bit of a board wipe, especially if you play her in concert with Grab Your Swords. All right, I'm just gonna stop trolling myself with these back cards and just get rid of them.
Just get that out of there.
Dude. I think it was on the same Jasmine before, right?
It's the first card and in the same spot like every time.
Control Your Temper. That's the first time we've seen that one. Chosen character gets -2. Who gives a fart will never make a deck ever. Maleficent, on the other hand, absolutely makes decks.
Yeah,
like you say, 2/2 with 1 lore for 3 inkable. But when you play this, you draw a card. So you get a body, a 2/2 body, drawing a card, and you can quest. It's like strong. That's a very strong common. Tinkerbell, evasive. Again, Pixie Dust. This is one I see played a lot. Absolutely played a lot.
Pretty fair. Yeah.
Break.
Oh, you don't see this much.
I don't see this very much. You usually see Beast instead of Break, right?
I think that by and by we'll see Break become more worthwhile as more items come out.
Ooh.
We'll definitely see Break be more played than Donald Duck. That thing's a bit of a stinker. Quack.
He's not terrible. He's not. I'd play him in a draft. A 2/3 body for 2, inkable, 1 lore. It's fine.
I mean, it's fine and everything, but draft is
There's
probably
the Nelsa. There's one that gets absolutely shifted over top of.
Yeah.
Almost 100% of the time. 100% of the time with the big Elsa. But not a bad card. Not terrible.
I mean it's great for control, which is definitely out of the Amethyst pocket. I mean, exert chosen opposing character.
It can force them to have to exert a character that you can challenge them to banish. For somebody who's like not wanting to. Wow, solid 2 uncommons there. Another Flynn Rider, very good, solid common.
Here comes the Smolder. Gets
hey, Dr. Facilier yet again. This is not very valuable because he's in the pre-con, but he's still a fantastic card.
Right.
And another rare. Oof, not such a great card. Poo Poo Leafoo.
It's cheap. Getting in cheap. 2 for a 2/2 with 1.
I just don't care. Hey, There you go. A foily. Eye of the
Nice.
Face.
Definitely keep that thing around.
I think I already have one that's in foil.
Yeah.
So that's my second copy. Getting down to it. We got 7 packs left, folks. So you're sitting with us on this marathon box
I
opening.
like those. They're pretty cool.
Lorcana. All right, that is not, and there's definitely no enchanted in this one either. Like I keep spoiling that there's no enchanted every time I take that card out. I think that's the first time we've seen this one. Work together, chosen character gains support. Who cares? Go away. For one, maybe this makes a deck, but I don't think so. Gaston.
Go a little lower with the Bob.
Oh, oh, my bad. Did you not see this last one? Sorry. Work together. Very meh kind of card. It gives a character support.
Gaston making a solid appearance. Hakuna Matata. Yeah, good song.
Hey, more magic brooms. I'll take all these. These are good. Sudden chill.
Burr, baby, burr.
Like as multiplayer becomes more prevalent, this will become more of a card.
I think we'll see it synergize. Same thing with those breaks. Like there's so far only
it needs to be like a 1. Yeah. It needs to be a 1 casting cost. Like it's just too specific, right? Shield of Virtue.
I think not as we see, the prevalence of items become more and more. There will definitely be a set or two where they're the big hits. Befuddle, it's fine.
I see it a lot.
Yeah.
Mother Knows Best. This is the one I'm talking about that gets pulled back from the damn graveyard because she just keeps bouncing your cards back to your hand.
Yep.
Like if you just got your Elsa out on top of your other Elsa, now bounce that to your hand, and it's like, oh,
yeah,
you got to replay both those cards to get them out. Oh, there we go. What do we?
Son of a gun, dude! You're rocking.
Sorry, I skipped the card. So it's not the foily, but hey, now there's one. That's a big hit.
I was talking about. Be prepared.
There's your board wipe.
Yeah, banish.
I don't think I had
characters. I mean, it's super expensive in 7. But at the same time, like it's the only card that does that.
Yep. He's got to have a weakness because everybody's got a weakness.
Is that 3 lore? Probably 2. Okay.
Is this Maleficent?
A little higher. Is there a downside to this? When you play this character, you must put chosen opposing character into Inkwell face down. Ooh.
Oh, this is the Hades one? Or no, this is the Ursula one, right?
Let's see.
No.
Oh, no, I believe it's Hades. Yeah. Awesome. You've definitely got some good ones.
This one definitely sees play, and it's like game's over when this happens, by the way.
Yeah.
And then we got, Hercules in foilies. Yeah, I'll say I got 2 very, very strong legendaries. Actually, 3 are, it's not Gantu. These are all very, very playable, very good. So I can't complain at this point. The box has been very justifiable. Fun opening, lots of flavor, good cards. Been a very good experience for me. I got the tank, which I really, really wanted. So we're going to do it this way so I don't spoil it for myself. And I saw the first card nicked again, man. That's probably the biggest bummer about this box, but they are uncommons. But I think that's the first time we've seen that one. And
Golden Flower.
Yeah, I don't ever see this played.
Nope.
That's a very pronounced ding on that one. Just not played. The only reason I would play that would be to play a 1 casting cost item inkable. I'll guarantee you, when this is in most people's decks, ink. That's just what this card does. Goofy, we talked about. Decent. Hey, this is the third. This is the other promo card, and all the promo cards, by the way, which is the Mickey Detective, Hey, and Isma, are all cold foil promos. Or being part of the first season, if you get your hands on them. I want to get a set for myself. Like to even get a play set if they're cheap enough. If they're like,
and that card's just good too.
This card's okay. It's not. I don't really see it get played much. But hey,
Fits
Fun to
good in
say.
my lemon lime aggro. Does its work.
Freeze.
Yep.
I never, ever, never see this card played.
No, because there's no like instance kind of a thing. Like it doesn't make sense. It's not useful.
Another one I don't see played.
Uh,
One I absolutely see played.
I love that she has a thimble for a helmet.
And a button for a shield.
Yeah.
I think she's got a needle for a sword.
Adorable. Like this is why I like Disney products like this. Like this is
Flavor. Hey, there's that eyeball keeps seeing us. It's like the eye of Sauron. She keeps coming back. So I think it's telling us, I see you. I need you to play a deck. I want to be played. I like this card.
Or that the Eye of Fates is actually the Eyes of Fates. You know, there's a bunch of them.
I don't think they could have picked a more iconic piece of art. And that's about all I'm going to say for this card.
It's so regular.
So vanilla.
Yeah. Like this just says French vanilla as far as Disney with Lorcana. It's regular, but it looks nice.
There he is. Finally got him. That card I play the dog stink out of. I definitely put 3 of them in my steel Ruby deck. And it's just to deal with the items. And at a 4/4 butt with 2 lords is just everything to like about him hitting the table. I think 5 is very fair for this cost.
Yeah, you're definitely getting something worthwhile when you play it. And it fits into the steel theme.
Hey!
Nice hook.
I like the other hook better. I think he's an uncommon hook. The one that goes back and gets fire the cannons are ready, whatever it's called. The damage card. There's a hook that goes and gets that card back out of the graveyard.
I like this one. It definitely does its job with Challenger +3 on it.
If the problem is the one more.
Yeah, that's the disappointing portion on it, especially because it seems as though him having a happy thought should make it more lore filled. You know, that's how the story kind of ends, is that's why he becomes a happier person. So I think they did a little dirty there, but at the same time, it definitely comes around. And in Steel, this guy just, you know, he's going to go out there kick some butt. So
Honestly, I think the common version of him is just far better for what it is.
Yeah,
I'll put 4 of the other.
I mean, turn 3, get this guy out. Shit, that's solid.
Okay. He's not in my deck. Super rare. What do we got? Be another tank. Nope. Oh, this is going to be the queen?
Maleficent?
No, it's the queen, the evil queen. What's her name? The queen.
The queen. Oh.
It's just straight up the queen.
Yeah, I guess they never named her.
Solid card. Solid card. I mean, not super impressive, especially for a super rare.
Right.
But definitely a solid card. Very playable.
I like that it's repeatable and free once you have it out. Because you're not ever going to quest with it. You're just going to tap it every turn or exert it every turn.
Hey, there's a Sebastian. All right. Getting down to it, folks. We got 5 packs left. Are we going to see an enchanted?
Right. And thank everybody for joining us. You know, it's been great to get to talk to you in chat. I know that insert name here has had some great comments tonight. So we really appreciate you showing up.
You know what we're going to do? We're just going to do that with it. How's that?
Okay.
We're going to do that with the last 5 packs, and we'll do them one at a time. So we just don't even have the chance of spoiling it. Work together. Pongo. Hey. Freeze. Stolen Scimitar. Like, I would hate to see this one. There it is. Fire the cannons. There's a Captain Hook that goes and gets this back. Hopefully we pull him. Be great to pull him in foil. Fire the cannons is just such a solid card. Dragonfire again. I dig it.
It does its thing.
It does exactly what it should. I think it's fair cost. It is an uncommon. Jumba Jukiba. I do see this played from time to time. I'm not a super fan of it. I think it's a little. I think you can do more with 5 ink.
Well, right? So the thing is, I absolutely love the artwork and the character, but the card is so
It's very meh. And the rare is Maui, the biggest card in the game. It's an 8/8 for 8. Never sees play, never hits a table.
Yeah.
But it is the biggest card in the game.
Dude, you're okay.
So what is it? I mean, they're never going to duplicate it. We've already got Hades. You think we could pull the Elsa? You think we got an Elsa in us, folks? Is this an Elsa? Is this a Rapunzel?
What Elsa could it be, Bob?
Well, it could be
Gantu. It's a portmanteau.
Could be Gantu. I think there's 12 legendaries. It could be Mickey, the the Intrepid Tailor. Let's see. Do we have? It can't be Mickey. Oh,
okay. Well, I think we know.
I think this is a pooper. Yep. During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you gain 2 lore.
I think it's Ursula,
but you're just never going to do it.
Yeah.
Yep, that is a stinker of a card. That is definitely the worst legendary we pulled. I think it's the second lowest cost legendary.
I mean, that's really good for a rare. For a legendary, that's not. It's not legendary. You know what I mean? As far as that goes,
it's rather ho hum for a legendary. It is literally the second lowest cost one.
Yeah.
So that's an unfortunate pull.
Banish the character. I mean, it doesn't seem like it would trigger all that much, especially because it has no way to like heal itself. And in Steel, it's definitely it's on theme, but it's also difficult to get that to trigger correctly.
Like if it was just during your turn and not when this character does it. So if you could get him into play and then blow up a bunch of other stuff with other things, like with your swords or Tinkerbell, then that card would be
condition.
That'd be
okay, cool. Now we bust everything.
Now we got something, but it has to be this character that does it. So he's kind of a schmuck. All right, so we're going to put our foils, maybe an enchanted foil down in there. Velocities, again. Oh, he's got a sword. That's the first time I think we've seen this one. But how about a no?
I love Abu. He's one of my favorite characters from like all of Disney.
I mean, he's got a sword, which is not quite Abu. Abu's a much better card.
No, I just mean like that character. Yeah.
I mean, Abu
has a sword.
Control your temper. This is another who gives 2 flips.
Yeah, you're not seeing this anywhere.
Nope. On the other hand, hello, going to be probably the most expensive common in the first set ultimately. Like this is just it's going to be a staple forever, folks.
Yeah. Oh, in the long run, that's going to be just a hitter. Steamboat
the Mickey and the Mouse is very meh.
Yeah.
Hey, very solid Aladdin. I'm telling you, I like this card. I like
and I think it's because of some of the shift cards on top of it, but it's
no,
good.
Just a 2 casting cost, 2 lore, 2/1. More solid than you think, man. Coconut Basket will be forgotten about.
Did not work.
That it's not so good. I literally removed it. I think these were in the pre-con. I removed it to put like a bell in.
It might work out later on.
I doubt it.
You know, when items are so cheap and all that kind of stuff, and you can play it for free and it gets you a trigger.
That's the first time I've seen him. No. It's because we were talking about him not having inkable.
Yeah.
Hey, I think that's the first time we've seen Donald in the duck there.
Look at his shoulder pads. God, it's like a woman in the late 80s.
Makes him look more buff because he's got some scrawny arms underneath there.
Those legs, God, there's no meat on his bones. But he does have bodyguard. So
I do play him. I do play him in my bodyguard deck. That's with the Lilo. Oh. So I play a Steel Amber. Oof. I try to make this work, but it's not good. It's not good. It's too expensive. It needs to be like 2.
Yikes. Yeah. And it's not even inkable. Well, you're getting a super rare marshmallow, huh?
Yeah, that's a real marshmallow. That's a terrible, terrible card.
Yeah, 6/6. 6 for a 5/5 one. Durable. When it's banished in a challenge, you can return it to your hand.
By the time it hits the table, who cares?
Yeah, 6, and like you're not getting it out there any earlier.
It's not a good card. It's like one of the worst super rares, I think. All right, so you know what we ought to do? We ought to send out a portrait of all 4 to all of our subscriber or members.
Oh, the channel members, huh?
Just because. Give them a little something. Donald Duck again. He's got a sword. Oh, I think this is the first time we've seen Pumbaa.
Look at Jumba.
I don't see him in play ever. A 4 for a 3/5 1
yeah. Yeah. For
you
those colors, you're probably already trying to aim for something else.
You're playing a Rapunzel, you're playing something of, much more value than a Pumbaa at 4.
Or whatever else you're pairing with it. You're playing those instead. Yeah.
Like, I'd rather play a Jafar, in all honesty, because of that 3 challenger that gives him 5 power. But even Jafar is not so great. Duke, fine card. You in this game so far, what I've seen is you really want low to the ground mostly in your deck.
Yeah, I mean, games don't really go terribly long, so
this is like our troll card. The captain. Goodbye, Captain. Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Befuddled.
And you know what's funny? Is that he actually is a captain.
Oh, the symbol.
Befuddled. Hey, I think it's the first time we've seen Jasper. This is an irritating card. Like, I don't even know if I want to say it's good. It's just so irritating.
Yeah, it's effective in what it does. Yeah.
For 3, a 2/4, that's already very well priced. Whenever this character quests, chosen opposing character can't quest during their next turn.
It's just like, so annoying. That's what I was gonna do with it. Come on, man. And it also shuts off support. So
it's just it's an irritating card. Part of your world. It's the first time we've seen that, and it's a terrible card. Return a character card from your discard to your hand for 3.
Yeah, that's not super great.
And another rare Hans. That's a pretty good card.
Yep.
He's a 3/3 for 4 with 3 lore.
Yeah,
he gets out there.
I put him.
He does some work. Yeah. He does some work early and
all that lore. He's got more lore than George R.R. Martin.
Wow, that was bad. That was bad, Pat.
Yes.
Don't ever say that again. Don't forget, we got a stack building up here of.
Got a stack attack of foilies.
It's going to be a bunch. It's going to be every single common. Probably should have done that the whole time. Just to see if we get that would be where we get an enchanted if there's an enchanted. Develop your brain. Abu. Like, that's the good Abu. Pumbaa, not so good. Maleficent, fantastic. Peter Pan, really solid with the evasive. And Simba, I just don't see him get played much. I don't play him. One jump ahead. I think that's the first time we've seen that, right?
Yeah, and it's such a good card.
Definitely a good card. Right? It's a 2 casting cost song, so it can be sung.
I mean, you're taking a risk. Yeah.
Put the top, but that's ramp in this game anyways, is taking a risk, right?
Yeah.
So, but this pushes you ahead, right? It pushes you out in front. Lifu, this is, I think, a more playable Lifu. 2/1/2 for 2 lore. It's the 2 lore that really gets it, right?
Yes.
So it's not 100%. Bad. And I don't know. I mean, maybe if they make an Amber Gaston, it'll be even better.
Oh boy, that would be too good.
I don't know. It'd be like a slightly better version of Lilo.
Oh, I'm just thinking of like what they could put on it, make it a rare, a super rare or something. You know, really beef him up, but put him low to the ground.
Oh, you mean a Gaston?
Yeah.
Yeah. Frying pan. I I don't play this. I take it out of the precon. I just don't like it.
Banish this item, but I don't want to. I want to keep it around.
I don't care about that card.
Ursula's shell necklace.
Necklace. Yeah, I mean, now sing. Whenever you play a song, you pay 1 ink to draw a card. Okay, maybe it just costs too much for this card itself. By the time you get this into play, turn 3, it's like now you gotta sing a song and then pay ink to draw a card. That's a lot of machinations just to draw a card.
You know,
When you have a
be
Maleficent, it costs 3.
is
You got a body and you draw a card. It's
something
just
interesting is what if that said pay 1 lore instead? Would that be a good card?
No, God, no. I would never pay a lore. But maybe like exert a character rather than paying to draw a card. This is a terrible card. This is a super rare that will not get
During your
played.
turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, your other characters get +1 lore this turn. Oh, that isn't good. Like, it just, for it being a super rare, I mean, it's a fine card. Cool, it's playable, but it's not, like, special.
Well, it tries to go into a go wide strategy, and this game is just not go wide. It just doesn't. I don't see games go wide.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you just don't. Like, how many times do you see more than 3 characters across the board from you? If the game's not already gone out of hand.
I mean, 30% of games, maybe.
Where they go wide?
Yeah, where people have 5 to 6 characters out.
And you're still in the game?
Yeah, where we're maybe back and forth between 10 and 14 lore.
Well, the first time we've seen Timon.
I like it. Look at the bright, flashy colors. It's like I'm seeing
It's
a Hawaiian shirt. Yeah.
It's a fun looking card, and it's a decent card to play. It's inkable 1/1/2/1 lore. When you play this, if it's late game, you can remove up to 1 damage from a character. It's a totally fine common card. There's nothing wrong with it. Dr. Facilier. I like him. Megara, try again. Goons, solid. It's like these are your bears, right?
Staple.
That's the bear. Donald Duck, a little less so.
Yeah,
grizzly
red,
bear.
you're probably doing
well, now there is one that you see all the time. Creature removal. That's the first one we've gotten tonight, right?
Yeah.
Unless we got one in here. Rafiki. So what is he? He's a rush 3/3 for 3, 1 lore. And basically he's creature removal. He basically takes that anything that's got 3 toughness or less. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen this card. I mean, I have 4 of them because I got a complete playset, but I don't think I ever looked at this one. 2, that's fair enough. It's an item. Tap, pay 1 less for the next action you play this turn. Maybe in the future if actions become, far more utilized. Sure.
Yeah. I'd like to see a rare or super rare version of that card that says you may pay 1 for the next action. Like that would be a cooler card. I'd be more interested in that.
First time we've seen that one, you may pay. I see this one get played quite frequently. I'm not the super fan of it. Pay 1 less for the next character you play this turn.
So I had it in a deck, in an earlier version of one of my decks where I played 4 of them. And once you have 2 of those on the field and you're reducing stuff by less a turn, like that's really good. If you have 4 of those out and you're reducing the cost of a character by 4, or you strategically do it and it's like, oh, I'll turn this 1 into a nothing and then I'll use 3 of them to make this 5 into a 2. Like, yeah, then they're paying off, but your investment into them is so high. and they're non-inkable, so you have
Hey,
to
another
withdraw.
Hans. I would rather had another Tinkerbell, but I'll take a Hans. It's not a terrible hit.
Yeah, that
All right,
he
so
goes
we're
down.
down to the last 5 cards, folks. These are probably
hot
all
dang. Let me get you
going to
blown
be
up.
probably all going to be just foily boys. Probably no enchanteds. I'll try not to spoil. So the next one's clearly not an enchanted and just another common.
Sudden chill. Good for multiplayer, you know. Oh shit, though.
How do we're going to move that one to the back since it's the last. So we know the last one is going to be a super rare. I mean, a legendary. We got a legendary foil in at least in there, folks. Hopefully it's not Take-Ha or whatever again. Or again. Oh, it's a super rare. Can it be a Tinkerbell? Can we see a Tink?
I don't think it's enough words.
Oh, but it's a Mickey Mouse. I'm digging it.
A foil.
We did not get it. We did not get an enchanted. So no enchanters, I'm afraid. Oh God. So what is it? What are we going to guess that the legendary is?
I was just like, how did that card appear there?
This one?
Yeah. Why, Simba? Why are you here ruining everyone's fun?
What do we want to guess that last legendary is? Do we have any guesses what that is?
Oof.
I
want to go for a yellow card. I can't even think of what the yellow legendary would be. Amber.
Just gonna rip the band-aid off. Oh, hey, that's not terrible,
dang.
folks.
No, that's one of the best cards in the legendary slot there, and yeah, that's a solid hit, man.
So there we have.
Good.
Those are the. Let me see if I can back out a little bit. Why is this not letting me? Something went funky with my camera here. Oh.
Bear with us. There we go.
All right. So let's go through some of the hits for those people that fast forwarded straight to the end of the video.
You filthy heathens.
Nah, I don't blame them, man. It was a long, slow opening on purpose from me. Let me see. Did we get any other? There's a super rare. Bunch of commons, a rare. Should be ashamed to call yourself a rare.
There were a number of rares. It was a good box, though. I mean, hey,
all in all, it's not bad. You know?
No, I mean, so we've got two ways to look at it. Is what did you get as far as singles, and what did you get? I guess 3 ways. What did you get as far as fun, entertainment value of opening the box? You know, us hanging out and chatting, and then I know you're not the type of person to, but if you looked at the monetary value of those cards, and because how enthused you are as a collector, I know every single one of those will only leave your possession if they're a gift. So you're not worried about like the monetary value.
The probably you have to get them from like my daughter, because they're probably not leaving my collection. That's just the way that's going to go.
So I'd say that I think you had a great box, because not only you got some of the singles that you were hoping to put into decks, some great cards for, you know, later on,
more for my collection.
But you also had a great time hanging out and doing it. So,
oh, absolutely, this has been a fantastic time, and I really sincerely thank everybody that has come to check it out. Hopefully, you enjoy this during the holiday seasons. Sorry that we can't do our live show, but you know, we have holiday season as well.
Yeah, I'm traveling and shit.
Well, and we have a fancy dinner we're going to.
Ooh, Bob gonna be fancy.
Yeah, we're gonna get all fancy pants. So there we are with the rares, and got some some pretty decent ones. Actually, the rares, got a Hades, a Lilo, a Cusco, a Be Prepared,
A pair
two
of Hans.
Hanses.
Those Hans, that's some good shit right there. Staple.
Um, for the super rares of note, well, none of these. I mean, the Queen's not bad, and actually Hans isn't terrible either. The Queen's not bad, but I think she's like in the precon, maybe. I'm pretty sure. Love the Hans, but he's not as high up as Stitch and Genie, Ariel, Tank, Whole New World. Probably Mickey is on the tail end of that, really. But I mean, if that's that's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Good hits there. Got a Bell, my second Bell. That's great. A Hades is another. I have that Stitch already as well.
I mean, five legendaries.
This is like the only unfortunate pull, like in the box.
And it's not even. It probably isn't great by any stretch, but it's still fair. If you're upgrading a precon, that's definitely something that could fit in.
I'm just saying, like, if that's the worst thing, the most unfortunate,
right?
Like, imagine if this had been like a foil Gantu,
Yeah, or like, just a foil common and not even have a foil legendary,
Well, I'm just saying, but that wouldn't be unfortunate, right? That would just be par for the course. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, did we get another enchanted foil? No, but most boxes don't have enchanted foils.
Yeah, to get
you definitely got a ton of foil. Every one of these
is good haul. Yeah.
Every one of these in my hand is played, right? And I would say every one of these, minus the Tekka, is also played, right? Definitely Dr. Facilier sees some play. I think Mickey's giving me some thoughts. These are very playable cards themselves, except for the Marshmallow. You're like, probably that's like Mulan and Marshmallow. We got one each. Like, those are the most unfortunates in my super rares. So yeah, you're absolutely right. The rares, honestly, I'm going to say that the rares were probably in the weaker part. But if I'm going to be weak, I'd rather it be in the rares than in the super rares and the legendaries. So we didn't pull any legendaries in the top half of the box, and then we pulled 5 in the bottom half of the box, right? So I don't know. Did you enjoy yourself, Pat? Did you have fun watching this box opening?
Yeah, I had a great time doing this.
And for all those people that say I don't open cards, the whole mess of cards here I just opened.
Well, again, thank you everybody for joining us this evening, and hopefully it's been a great time talking to you down in chat. If not, it's been absolutely terrible. And Prime, don't come back next week. We can't stand it. Also, we're going to get in touch and hopefully do a D&D with you again soon. It was a fun time. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, looking forward to the new year, folks. Not sure what we're doing on a New Year's stream, but I think we're going to stream at least.
I'd be down for it.
But if we don't catch you during the holidays, or you can't make that stream or what have you, and you're catching this, please have a safe and happy holidays. I hope that your Christmas wishes come true. And this has been a very fun box opening for me. I have enjoyed this immensely. It was some highs, and overall, I don't feel like I got punched in the ninny muggins, right? Feel like it was a very fair and fun box opening, and I got cards I definitely wanted. So I got the Tinkerbell, like I said at the very beginning. Kind of wish it had been the Enchanted Foil. Really have wanted that one since the beginning, but it's getting down there in the price range where maybe I'll just go buy one.
Right.
So,
well, hey, until next week, guys, thank you everybody for joining us. You've been incredible, and we've been Cardboard Odysseys. Take care.